Welcome back to Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. I'm your host, Timepants, and I'm slowly losing the will to live. If you've ever watched, like, Home Alone, or, like, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons, or, like, Tom and Jerry, maybe at some point you've kind of asked yourself, why do they keep going back? Like, why do they keep going for more and more punishment? And, you know, it's always seemed like kind of ridiculous to me, like it didn't really make any sense, but I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to understand why. So we're gonna quit. We're gonna stop for right now. Our upper level ranks here are actually getting pretty thin, so we're gonna take this opportunity to kind of slow things down. And yeah, we're just gonna rest, relax, recuperate. You know, I was saying before the Fiends in Frenzy, stuff came out, before that content came out, I was saying, you know, we're probably gonna need to thin our ranks a little bit. So let's just treat this, like, this whole ordeal like that. You know, we were gonna need to get rid of some duplicates anyway. Not our bounty hunter, not our jester. That didn't need to happen, but, you know, we needed to thin things out, and so that's alright. So, let's see, this is what we're rolling here. And actually, I've been kind of thinking, something we have not done is check out all the color palettes. Wow, actually one's pretty cool. It's kind of nice. I like one. It's kind of lagging when we're switching the colors. That's a little bit unusual. That's really nice. I kind of like that. That's nice too. Let's go with 4. Alright, there we go. The important stuff is done. Now we're just going to take care of the administrative shit. And camp. Alright, so I do have to admit that, like, in all seriousness, I kind of lost some of my will to fight. Like, straight up, I kind of lost my fighting spirit after that horrible, horrible, horrible beating, or series of beatings that we took. And it has taken me a little while to sort of recover and get my will to continue back. There has been... Oh, this is nice. Why don't we do this? You dick. Alright, I mean, she got the damage buff, but did they change that? We used to be able to interact with that from farther away. We're just gonna go ahead and eat now. Oh, nice. So yeah, I kind of lost my will to fight there. Yeah, it seems like maybe they have changed the interaction range there. That might just be me off my game though. But yeah, it was hard, man. It was brutal. Just taking one beating after another like that. In the span of 5 videos, we lost 5 level 5 or 6 characters, and I mean, that's really bad, man. That is horrible. Oh, we need to change her skill loadout. And yeah, I mean, I was really starting to feel, you know, I was gaining, holy shit, I was gaining some serious empathy for, like, Harry and Marv from Home Alone, because, I mean, I was just taking one paint can to the dome after another, and it seemed like it wasn't gonna stop. Like, somebody save me from myself. But yeah, like, finally, you know, I took a day off. I kind of thought about the situation a little bit. And I do have a strategy for the actually for both the Formless Flesh and the 12-pounder. I do have a strategy, and I'm reasonably confident that we can make it work. I mean, I'm obviously not certain, because, I mean, there are no certainties in this game, as this whole ordeal has kind of taught us. But yeah, I feel like we can probably make it work. So, you know, no sense keeping secrets. I'm not trying to be mysterious or anything. I'm just kind of trying to preface what I've been doing during my much needed couple of days off there. Wow, that was a grape shot blast crit. That's incredible. All right. So what am I planning here? Well, for the what am I thinking here? Actually, why don't we? Yeah, why don't we go around? Alright, so what am I thinking here? For the 12-pounder, I think we're going to... Oh, now we have to choose between a fight or an obstacle. Let's take the fight. Why not? So... God damn it. Alright, so the plan is this, for right now. I'm going to get Baldry up to... level 5, and so that will get him to his maximum. That'll get him up to like his maximum level on his skills and on his damage, on his armor, that whole thing. So that's going to get him sort of primed and in position to go with Dismas, and both of them are going to kind of be my meat and potatoes. Then we take our leper and put him in the front row. And after that, we can kind of ride those three for damage. Our leper is basically going to be there to try and get through that enormous protection score on... Oh, that's new. Yeah, he's basically going to be there to try and get through the enormous protection score on that goddamn... What am I doing? On that goddamn 12-pounder. It's something like 70%, so he's basically there to just try and keep the battle to a reasonable level. Well, shit. Best laid plans. Yeah, he's basically there to just, yeah, try and keep the battle, like the length of the battle, to a reasonable level, because the longer it goes on, as we saw last time, the more we sort of expose ourselves. Well, that was necessary. We expose ourselves to the risk of, you know, something terrible happening. You know, who knows what it is, but string of crits, couple misses right before the matchman has a chance to ignite the fuse, whatever. Anyway, what the ideal situation is, our two highwaymen are basically just there to use, to use the pistol shot to take down, the matchman, and if possible, shit, really? If possible, we also want to hopefully, if possible, we want to hopefully be able to sort of use Grape Shot Blast as much as we can to try and do a lot of AOE, and and hopefully take them take down as many units per round as possible. Lord knows if it will actually work out like that, but it seems like we kind of have an idea anyway. This is kind of fine. As for the Formless Flesh, I think the idea is, damn, I think the idea is probably going to be to try and yeah, it's gonna be honestly, it's gonna be a bit more work. But yeah, the idea for that is basically I want to try and maximize like the amount of the amount of damage, which like duh, right? But no, I want to try and yeah, I want to try and maximize the amount of damage that we're able to sort of to do, but more importantly than that, I think we're also going to try and keep the number of attackers down using stun. So for this, I was thinking we're gonna take a Hellion for her ability to use Barbaric Yup. After after that, we're gonna be looking at damage dealers, something like a leper might be a good choice since we're not going to be able to get a bounty hunter all the way up. We might also take a man-at-arms, but I'm afraid that marking himself is going to put him in a situation where he just is getting his ass kicked too much for us to heal out of. A couple of tough rings might work, but at level 5, it kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I think either one's fine. But yeah, a leper might be good. And we're also going to take a plague doctor. And between that, I'm thinking we'll also take a what am I thinking? A Vestal. God, I cannot talk. I don't know what happened. I should take one day off. Yeah, we're also going to take a Vestal. And sort of putting all of that together, we'll have the ability to stun the front two, or at least attempt it. We'll have the ability to stun the back two. We'll have damage from the leper. We'll have damage from the Hellion when we're waiting for the stun buff to wear off. And we will also have healing, and we'll have emergency stun with our Vestal. Now, I'm not sure if I'm overthinking this or completely underthinking it, but I don't know. I kind of like this idea. Shit. Yeah, I kind of like this idea because I feel like it can yeah, we have the ability to be like survivable while doing this. I feel like this gives us a chance, if not to win. Hopefully we're not going to be in such a terrible position that we can't retreat. Because, you know, if we have at least a couple of enemies stunned, then hopefully we won't ever take too much damage in a single round that we can't run away. That's the hope. Now, unfortunately, alright, what have I done? That is okay. Vulnerability hex. Let's see, what's your stun resist? 60? I think we can actually stun you. And if we can even get the knockback, then this is in the front, and that won't be so bad. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, this seems viable. Now, I mean, Lord knows if it'll actually work, but it seems like a workable plan. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I like the idea of having a lot of stun in the party. I was really hoping for a kill here, but that's okay. Let's see. So yeah, that's that's kind of my general, that's my general outline for success. Like I said, you know, Lord knows if it'll actually work. We haven't exactly been having a lot of inspiring success recently, but I've just kind of, yeah, been batting that idea around, and I feel like at the very least, you know, we'll be doing something purposefully if we attempt this. We'll at least have kind of a general idea, right? Holy water. We'll at least kind of have a general idea of what our battle plan is going into the fight. Well, shit. So yeah, if we at least have a reasonable expectation of how we're gonna fight, you know, good, then yeah, we can kind of go from there. But you know, I feel like one of the things that really made our lives so hard last time was that we didn't really have a plan. Like our plan was just go in and do a bunch of damage, which had worked previously, but when we went up against when we went up against the formless flesh, I mean, we ran up in darkness, and it was just kind of a, I mean, we weren't even really, it wasn't even really a conscious decision. I was just saying, well, you know, previously we've run in darkness and things have been fine, so obviously we do it again. You know, not thinking at all of the fact that there's a ton of damage that we were not really accounting for. What do you think? You want to try it? Yeah, let's do that. There was a ton of damage that we really were not accounting for. You know, what with there being, yeah, total darkness, with there being four enemies that were all going to be swinging on us at once. And yeah, a tremendously high, a tremendously high amount of just, tankiness from the, there's just a tremendous amount of tankiness from the enemies that we were going to be fighting. So hopefully this time, yeah, we'll at least. We're at least going in informed. We're not going to be fighting the formless flesh in total darkness. Lesson learned. I mean, even if we go in next time and things go really well, I feel like it would still be basically, I still really feel like that would basically be us rolling the dice with. Actually, is this empty? Oh, we don't know. Yeah, I still feel like it would basically be us rolling the dice with our own lives. Just what? Oh my God. Well, that was really stupid. Yeah, I feel like we'd basically be rolling the dice with our own lives, because yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong if, say, you know, like last time, the enemy just goes first and steamrolls you with a couple crits, with, you know, with the additional damage that enemies receive, in total darkness. Yeah, I think they changed it. You can't interact with, these things from really far out anymore. Huh. That's weird. Well, I guess we don't need the shovels anymore. I'm a fucking idiot. So, like I said, that's kind of that's what I've been thinking about for the past couple days. I have to admit, I have been really salty. I have been very disappointed in our performance. Taking that big stress hit right at the end was certainly not something that I wanted to do, should have done, or had any reason or excuse to do. But, you know, So it goes, I guess. Let's see. How do we want to handle this? I think we want to take this spearman out. So yeah, I probably should have swung on the spearman first. But yeah, because this is a waste. 92 damage on the weakest enemy, and it had, you know, shit. And it had like full, or yeah, it was the weakest enemy and it had 2 health left. There's no reason for that. I mean, that is the sort of lazy play that does come back to bite you. So I need to be more careful. Fortunately, we're gonna get out of this without too much harm done, but I do think next time we might be running in light to try and keep our stress total down, because I do want to get this party fighting fit. I do hope to, when we do fight one of the level 5 bosses, I do hope to take at least one of our 2 new characters here, if not more. So, I mean, that's it. We ran all the way up to the end of the dungeon there, but I think it went well. Well, we can actually ditch this and take that. Doesn't really matter, but you know, who knows what they're gonna add in the future. Let's see, not level 5 yet, so we are going to. That's awesome. We're going to take a. Oh, that's nice. We're going to take another run with this party before we go back and try our luck again with the 12-pounder. So it was, I mean, it was just a confidence booster, really. If I'm being honest, that's all it was really intended to be. But do I feel confident? Is my confidence boosted? Not really. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of in this situation right now because perhaps my confidence was a bit too high. So let's just try and build off of this success, get ourselves back to a position where we might actually be able to contend with one of the level 5 bosses, and take it from there. Anyway, I'm sorry this was not the best episode for commentary. I don't want to say rusty, but I'm a bit out of sorts. So thank you for watching, and hopefully next episode will be better, and I'll see you then. Thanks.